Hi there, let's just get right into it.
Do you ever wonder how? Do you ever doubt yourself? Do you ever lie to yourself?
Seriously, how do people do story times? The few I have seen have been about people talking about past things, not like a week or two ago, no, a year or two ago. I can barely remember what I ate yesterday, and most of the times I can't even do that. How? Of course I have my memories. I remember exactly how shitty I felt when I got bullied. I remember exactly how sad I was and still am when I think about my 2 doggies who died. And I also remember how lucky I felt when my boyfriend decided that he officially wanted to move in with me. But stories to tell? No, not really. I'll tell you the stories I came up with while trying to write a script for this thing. Just to try and see if I could find a memory that I could turn into a story time. This is what came out of it. At the beginning of our relationship with me and my boyfriend, we would pretty much spend all of our time together. We had no money, so we went to bed and watched some series together. When I would start to fall asleep, we'd finish the episode and then he'd spoon me to sleep, because that's how I fell asleep the easiest. Now, this is what we did for several weeks, and we're both people of habit. Once we do something that feels right, we keep on doing that. So one night he asks to spoon. I'm like, yeah. So I happily roll onto my right side, showing him my back. After about a minute I ask him why the hell it's taking so long. And as I look behind me, I see his back. Apparently he meant that I had to spoon him. So we ended up cuddling each other face to face. So this short story was all I was able to come up with when trying to think of something. And it took me about 20 minutes to write. Not just because I'm a slow typer or whatever. I was just digging for memories and trying to fill up the blanks. I think I lied about 5 times in those couple of sentences, just to try and complete a sentence. In my head I only had the word spooning and wrong way around, and the emotion of how funny we found it, because we really did laugh our asses off back then, even when we told others. But that's about it. That's all I could come up with. My creative skill took over, filled in the blanks, and made up a nice little story. So now I suppose this is how people usually do story times on YouTube. And that's fine, but not for me. I do not want to lie, not even when it's right. So when I tell a story, I want it to be 100% true. Maybe a little exaggerated, but true nonetheless. Whenever there's something that I don't want to talk about with you or with someone else in my private life, it doesn't matter. If I don't want to talk about it, I'll avoid the subject. I'll maybe even avoid the situation. And because of my decision that I only want to tell the truth, there will probably be things you guys could ask about that I consider private. And whenever I consider something private, I just won't talk about it. I'm not gonna try to pique your interest. I will just try to avoid it. Of course, there are certain things I do in my private life that I'd like to keep private. And in order to maintain that, it's just best not to talk about it at all. Just try to avoid it. If I'm going to be vague about something, it's going to pique your interest. And when someone's interest is piqued, it means there can be pressure put on me to fess up. And that's something I really don't want to do whenever I have decided to keep something private. But I'll happily tell you that with my diagnoses, it's unavoidable for me to have bad memory and maybe even fake memories. It's my defense mechanism to forget painful and desperate moments. And I think I've been doing it since I was 5 years old. Ooh, I do feel another story coming up right now. I recently realized that a memory I've had for about 10 years now has been at least partially fake. The emotions and distress, that wasn't fake. At least I haven't found proof that says otherwise, but the practical memory I have has been fake. The memory is about something that happened about 16 to 17 years ago. I am now 22, so I was just a youngster. Of course, I won't be able to remember everything from back then, but I think I've actively remembered this memory for about 10 years now. Just to add a little context, I was about 5 years old, so I was sort of in 2nd class of kindergarten. So when we had playtime, we'd sometimes get a tub-like thing on wheels, which would either be filled with sand or water. So when I was playing with the water, I was playing a little too playful, and some water drops reached the floor. My teacher told me off and threatened to put my head underwater if I did it again. Before playtime was over, it happened again. So he made sure his threat was acted out. Now that's where I lose most of my memories. just in general of my life. It could either be because of the fright or because I blacked out. I don't know how long I was underwater for, so it could have been that. However, the next memory I have is of me riding my bicycle back home for lunch break, as I always did, but this time with a wet head. The thing is, the route I remember cycling is the one from my next school. So what the hell did my brain do there? Why did it mess up, and why did it take about 10 years for me to find that discrepancy? I don't know. And I don't know if I'll ever have a realization like this again. But to be honest, I think I find my memory okay like this. I mean, of course, I'd love to be able to remember things from a couple of weeks ago that were fun and worth remembering. But I'd rather not remember anything than have to live through those memories from all the traumatic things that happened to me from back then. I used to feel like I needed those answers to fix myself. You know, why did this happen? Was it my fault? What happened? How did it happen? How did I let it happen? I've given up on that because, first of all, I can't remember anything from that. And second of all, it'll feel like I'm living through it again. And I don't think I'm strong enough for that. So, ending on that note, tell me in the comments if you find it easy to tell stories from your past, or if you have the same memory trouble as I have. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though it got a bit depressing. Sorry to my nature. Please subscribe to my channel for more depressing shit like this. I try my best. I'm gonna try to have a video ready every week, but knowing me, my energy levels, starting a new internship, I think it might be monthly. Oops. Hope you enjoyed the video, and bye.